The algorithm is not going to push content like this. It's not going to push it far, not going to push it wide. It's a timely metaphor for what's coming. There's a storm coming. And it's a storm that could take away our freedom and blow it right out the window. So if you're new around here, I'm a nomad and I'm very interested in freedom and protecting our freedoms and actually helping people unleash their own freedom, their own unique life path in this world. Now, I don't do this for a living. I offer no courses, no nothing on this. But I really do want people to experience the freedom that they desire in this world. And I do tend to reject anything that tries to mess with our freedom. So I think you know by now that I like to sleep in unique places, and this is a great one, just by the castle here in Carnarvon. What a wonderful spot just across the estuary there. As you can see, I'm joined by a few people there. Nice little hub of motorhomes. And why not? I was talking to a guy who was parked a couple of vans down from me, and he said he's just passing through. Second time he's had the motorhome out, but they've been eating in town, you know, giving them money to this great historic town in Wales. So why not create a few places like this around towns? You know, where it's not now where you have to pay like 20 quid a night just for facilities you don't need. Why not just put some nice parking bays that people can just access, and then they're very comfortable to come into your town and spend some money. It's one of this, the thinking in this country is one of restriction, control, and taking away people's enjoyment and freedom, I find, in a lot of places. However, I'm saying this on video, but there's still a lot of things, a lot of experiences that you can access for free in the mountains, you know, by the lakes. There's still a lot of places where you can just enjoy yourself, and you don't have to put your hand in the pocket all the time, which is increasingly a problem, I think, everywhere around the world. It may be raining, but there are some bonuses to a little bit of rain, and that's having a beautiful castle all to yourself, walking around. And then I see a person in the background. But generally very quiet around places, if you're willing to tolerate a little bit of turbulence in the weather. And that's where I'm parked up tonight, just across the water there. Actually a great spot. I was watching the swans earlier, just doing their thing. Nothing expected of them, just getting on and doing what they're doing. Simpler times. I've talked about the need to create castles in the mind to protect our freedom, the way we feel about things, the way we think about things. But if you look at 2025 Britain, it used to be castles back in the day to suppress rebels and to expand territory and control. Now, Britain in 2025 is heading towards a digital prison. We really need to rebel against this. I can't tell you how important it is not to go forward with this digital ID. It's a really shocking development, although it's no surprise who's pushing it. Imagine all of your life dictated to, every single aspect of your life under control. Where you go, what you eat, where you travel to, what you consume, everything could be potentially tied to the digital ID. And this is no fairy tale, it's no science fiction story. This has happened in several states. We see it in Vietnam, we see it in China. It's already implemented. They announced it a couple of weeks ago. They've already started a pilot involving many people. They've started the pilot because it's already with us. It's already been designed. It's already ready to scale. So the urgency around the protests, speaking out, speaking up, making sure that you don't comply to this dystopian future of the UK is ever more important. And it's great to see some mainstream political figures standing up in Parliament to say, no, we don't want this. It's not right. It's not democratic. And to see actually dystopian tech vendors coming through and saying it's undemocratic, no one voted for this, no one wants it, that's even more interesting. So we have to really start focusing on making sure we protect our freedom. Otherwise, you know, that control is going to keep on expanding. The state will keep expanding and our freedoms will go by the wayside. Now I understand that my reach is not so strong on this issue. When I talk about nomad life, van life, obviously reach increases. When I talk about digital ID and other issues that are really important, they don't tend to get pushed by the algorithm, so not many people watch them. But that's okay. If we reach a few people each, that's still okay. If we wake up a few people just on our own doing what we have with our platforms, with our relationships, with our networks, that's okay. We're not expecting you to take on the world, and I'm not expecting myself to take on the world. Not on this issue. But we can speak up and we can do our individual bit not to comply and push this dystopian future on the rest of the UK. Now, come on, I should get some brownie points for this. It's absolutely peeing down here. The wind is blowing a real gale. So if I can do it, you can do it. The algorithm is not going to push content like this. It's not going to push it far, not going to push it wide. Those with audiences around dystopian UK issues will fare much better. It's getting windy. A timely metaphor for what's coming. There's a storm coming, and it's a storm that could take away our freedom and blow it right out the window. So definitely, as I try to save my sunglasses and hat and everything else I'm put away, try to protect your freedom at all costs. We still have a semi-decent level of freedom right now, but you see what they're trying to do. They're trying to take that away from us, and it's what the system is always designed to do. to assert its power, control, authority over the masses. But we still have a choice here. We can still find a way through this. We've seen the impact of the protests, which were largely ignored by the mainstream media and mainstream politicians. Yet there's only so much ignorance, there's so much looking away that they can do. If the energy gets high enough and people really stand up to these draconian and dystopian things, then I think it could be the transformation of this country as we know it. If we're asserting our freedom once again, we're standing up for it, and we're doing the right thing by each other, I think this could make a big, big comeback. And I'm all for that. I'm all for it. See you on the road. And then, as if by magic, I'm under the sunshine. This is the beauty of nomadism, in that we can chase the light. We can be the light, but we can also chase the light. I like that. I tell you what, I've had so many rich conversations with people who were strangers and now we're friends, and we have a talk, we have a laugh, we have a natter, we share information, we share data, we share stories, anecdotes, inspiration, locations, and I kind of bounce from one person to the other. And now I've just had a lovely conversation with the lady here who's doing her PhD, and she's connecting, you know, energy with music and movement. And like, we're really developing awareness, a rich awareness of our place in the universe and how small it is, but how big we can be. It's quite amazing, really, and I enjoy every second of it.